Hi, and welcome to Swaay.Health, where we are excited and thrilled to bring you exclusive insights and knowledge from some of the brightest minds in healthcare marketing. I'm really looking forward to today's episode because we've got an expert who's going to talk to us about how they're using swag and how effective it is. Joining me on the program today is Brendan Russell, Creative Director at Cleerly. Brendan, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks for having me. Excited to be here and talk swag with you.
It's actually an exciting topic. We were talking just off air. Swag is one of those topics where as soon as you start talking about it, I think people just sort of lean in and want to listen to see, if they're doing it right and to learn how others are doing it.
Definitely. As a longtime designer, I love getting into merchandise and seeing how you can brand different merchandise. So it's always fun to get to, hop in and play with the swag stuff, break away from the other more mundane things.
Well, before we dive deep into that topic, Brendan, can you tell and give our audience a little bit of background on yourself and what Cleerly does?
Yeah, so I'm the creative director here at Cleerly. Kind of handle everything. We've got a small team, so we handle everything from all our normal graphic design to helping with all our shows, our trade shows, website, sales support, people team support, all of that. So we manage the swag as well, and it's a lot to manage. So having a company like Printfection be able to streamline that for us on top of everything else our team does is great. And clearly we actually do heart analysis, AI heart analysis of CT scans. So what we're doing is a patient goes in, gets their heart scanned, and we've got 64, I think, somewhere in there, different AI algorithms that analyze the heart scan, and we actually quantify the amount of plaque around your arteries, and then we also figure out what type of plaque you have. So we've learned through years and years of research that calcified plaque, it's not too bad for you, and it's actually those real soft fatty plaques that can cause heart attacks. So we're trying to identify those soft fatty plaques to try and prevent heart attacks before they happen. Last year was kind of our first dip into trade shows. This year we've got 5, I believe, on the slate as far as big presence at the shows. So that's really where a lot of our swag comes into play.
Yeah, so let's get into that. So how are you using swag in terms of your marketing initiatives or your campaigns?
Yeah, I think we use it like a lot of other companies. It's kind of obvious, you need some type of merchandise, some type of walkaway for attendees that come by your booth. That's kind of obvious there. It's kind of hard to stand out though, because everyone, one of the main ones I see at the cardiology conferences is everyone's got a anatomical heart stress ball. It's fine, it works, it's a little on the nose, so it's hard to kind of find some more unique swag and stand out a little bit from the crowd in that situation. But we also use swag and the Printfection platform across our whole company. For the most part, our people team utilizes it for new hires kits. So we have a kit set up. Every new hire that comes on board, they send them an email, they fill in all their own information, and a new hire kit gets shipped out. And we those are stuffed with, I think we use backpack, kind of the standard welcome to the team, some backpack and apparel, journals, pens, just kind of welcome them to the team and get them representing the brand a little bit. The people team also uses it for holiday gifts for the whole company. So that's been great use as well. There's some good unique items in there. When we first started, we're still a pretty young company. When we first started, the first few giveaways were, here's a t-shirt. No one had any branding at that point. So we did some apparel initiatives to start with. I think our last holiday kit was really fun because we kind of moved away from that finally. We're a health company, so Printfection had some exercise dice that you could brand. So it was like, get out, get active. Like, we got to promote this healthy lifestyle. And then also like a great fold up picnic throw blanket that just folds up and you can brand that. So it's super unique swag that the people team's been able to utilize, just for, employee motivation and just feeling like belonging to the team. And then lastly, our commercial team uses it a bunch too. Anything from like on-site small dinner meetings, to they help support the trade shows as well, obviously. So we have specific kits that they can just go in, choose the items they want, and ships out to them.
Lots to unpack there. I mean, it's actually pretty exciting to hear that you're using swag internally and externally. It's not just at your trade shows and not just for your sales team. It's actually used by your HR team to welcome, as you said, welcome new employees to the team, and then also for the seasonal gifts. How did, like, just focusing on the internal use for a moment, how and who decides what gets into the kits that get sent to new hires?
Yeah, it's kind of just been a collaboration between our creative team and the people team. They'll come to us looking for ideas. We'll send them a link if we're like really busy. We'll send them a link to the catalog, and they'll go through it and come up with some ideas as well. So it's kind of been collaborating there. And then also we'll Printfection will send out like a holiday catalog, like here's some cool items, like they kind of already do the work for us in a sense, as far as like, there's a ton of items on there. Take a whole day to go through and actually find something you're kind of settled on. So we utilize those catalogs, seasonal catalogs they put together as well.
So it sounds like it's almost like a curation of all the possible stuff. They just put it into a nice catalog for you, so you don't have as many to look through.
Exactly. And we actually just had that. So we got another trade show. We had to restock for this next one. And sure enough, like one of the things they just pitched us, it's like, yep, that's going to be perfect. So I don't even have to go through the catalog now.
And what has the response been from employees to these items that, like the picnic blanket, you've talked about the backpack and the notebooks and all those things. What's the response been?
It's been great. And really, we kind of got the Printfection platform set up a little later than quite a few of us employees were onboarded. And so there's a bit of jealousy there as well. Like, how can I get a hold of a backpack that all the new hires are getting now? So we've been having to catch up on that. There's a lot of excitement behind the different swag, and everyone gets excited about it when they get it.
It does sound, though, you've put a focus on what I call useful swag. Like, this isn't something that just sort of sits on someone's desk. These are backpacks, these are picnic blankets, these are the exercise dice. These are things that are meant to be used by your employees. Is that a true statement?
Yeah, I'd say for sure. We're a fully remote company. We've got a headquarters opening up in Denver. So we have a lot of offsite meetings. So every time I go out to one of those, say like to New York, that's where we're based out of to begin with, show up in New York, 10 or 12 of us there. Everyone has a different backpack that's clearly branded that they all used for the whole trip out and back. It's your computers for a quick 2-day trip. It can also be your carry-on bag that you just got everything in there, your overnight bag. So I think everyone likes having, some quality, useful merchandise. So
now, let's switch gears a little bit and talk about your external use. Did you apply the same theory and the same thinking to your external swag, or was there a different mindset when approaching it from your customers and prospects point of view?
Yeah, I think a lot of that has been informed by our sales team and what's worked for them before. They're all really into, tumbler mugs, which I think for me as a designer that's at a desk, like it's a pretty good gift. I've got plenty of mugs around the house, but then my mom, who's a nurse, like I start to think about her workday and, growing up with her always going in, and she always had some type of tumbler that she needed at her station at work. So I think it is useful in that sense. And then also, we try and do a lot of paper and pen, like writing stuff, which I think everyone's always in need of throughout their workday, especially in the clinical type of setting. So
yeah, there's always a shortage of pens, right? Like
yep.
at the hospitals and at the healthcare organizations. And yes, I agree with you. The tumblers are nice because they're nice and portable and relatively small. Socks seem to be a really big thing lately. Everyone seems to be giving away those. So I'm glad you didn't say socks because you're bucking the trend.
I see some socks on your desk.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, those now those are
Right?
special socks. Those are pink socks. But yeah, in general, I mean, hey, you get any kind of giveaway, I'm always grateful for whatever companies have there because I know how much effort goes into choosing it. Which actually leads me to the next point. Like, so you say it's sales informed. Salespeople are the ones that are making the recommendations for you. What considerations do you have though? Because you have like endless choices of tumblers, endless choices of pens and writing instruments. What are some of the criteria that you have as a creative person around like the exact model that you would actually choose?
Yeah, from a creative standpoint, there's a few things that I take into consideration. One thing is our logo isn't super conducive to embroideries, and even small prints. We've got some fine lines and gaps that, can get pretty tight when you're trying to shrink the logo down onto a pin. So making sure that we have like enough printable space on a product is important. For the backpacks, it's kind of making sure that there's like a good visible flap that the embroidery is going to go onto. We want something nice and prominent where it's actually going to be seen. So that's some of the considerations there. For the sales team kit, we also have to take into consideration Sunshine Act limitations on how much we can actually spend
Very
and give
smart.
away. So that's another thing with the Printfection platform is we're able to, really track what we're spending, like all the salespeople to go in and order kits for their dinner party. They're able to choose the exact swag they want and make sure they're not going over the limit that our legal teams put in place for us. And then they can also, they're keeping a log of it as well, that here is what I gave away. So I think it's been really useful there, having those prices up front. And also, like, we're able to then adjust as well. Like, for the shows, we've got, the cheap swag that's out on the counter. Any passerby can grab it and you're good with it. Maybe they'll look at that pin they took, the next day and be like, oh, what is this website, and go check it out. Then we also have kind of a mid-tier kit that we put together. So if they stay at our booth for a while and really engage and go through a software demo with us, they'll get, a nicer swag kit to walk away with. And then we also have like right at that top of that budget for people that are booking meetings with our sales team and stuff during the shows. So
It's very wise. I love the fact that you do have these tiers of giveaways, right? The one that anybody can walk by. It doesn't matter if they, work in the exhibit hall, they can grab one, or, or if it's a potential prospect, everyone's welcome to that. And then you have those upper tiers as they progress in your sales process, like right up until you get you're booking a meeting, you're giving them some really nice stuff, but still underneath that sunshine limit, which I think is very key, which people sometimes forget, right? They order an amazing swag, they become enamored with it, only to realize that, oh, like people can't accept it. And you don't want that because that defeats the whole purpose of having swag in the first place. Now, you mentioned a couple of things there that I do want to ask about, like in terms of the Printfection platform. It sounds like it allows you to track what was sent and which salespeople are the ones requesting that. Is that mostly just to inform future buying decisions, or are you tracking that relative to like the value of the sales, or like are you doing any of that kind of analysis with this
I
data?
think it's both. We're through our credit card company platform that we use, we constantly have to upload every receipt all the time if it hits a certain limit. So it's really useful there to just go pull receipts for what the sales team had just ordered. Even if I hadn't been there, I can still get in and grab that. There's also, we've got limits put in place. Every time that the sales team is ordering something, their sales manager has to approve that shipment. So she is keeping track of their, making sure they're not blowing out their budget for no reason, making sure they're being useful, resourceful, and with the swag that they are ordering. And then also, if we did ever need to go back, those logs are there. We know exactly how much this salesperson ordered for this dinner meeting at this time. And we could really, if we needed to say, look, here's the swag we had. It's, it doesn't even come close to going over the limit. So it's useful on all fronts. So.
No, it sounds amazing. Although I am a little bit sad because one of my first jobs in marketing was I was the one that had the key to the storage room that had all the swag in it, right? And so I got the bribes from the salespeople to say, "Hey, Colin, can you let me into the swag room? I need some stuff for the meeting." And I'd be like, "Sure, I'll take a sprinkled donut, please." And that was my entry fee. So
Yeah,
no more entry fees. It sounds like under the Printfection platform.
No more. It's been taken from us.
No, but that level of tracking that just allows you, it sounds like, to make really good informed decisions, right? Like and the way you put it, it makes the sales team be very conscious of the decisions they make in terms of how much swag they're giving away and for what purpose and when. I mean, you're not just giving away for the first meeting with somebody, right? Like the high end swag right from the start.
Exactly. Yep. So able to track all that, and then also like it does help us analyze what products are really doing well. Like with the trade show stuff too, like some inventory is kind of sitting there. Other inventory we need to reorder. So it definitely helps inform our decisions on, let's skip this product. It's not, not too many takers on it. It's a good product, but it's taken a while to get rid of. And then there's the other ones flying off the countertop that, we have to really keep up on. And, we ordered 250 this round, so it went this quick. We better order 500 or 1,000 on this next step. And I think those minimum, like pretty low minimums on a lot of the products is actually super helpful with that as well. So you can test out a product, see how it performs. If it didn't perform well, you didn't spend a ton of money. If it performed really well, great, like go spend some more and get it even cheaper. So.
And just so I'm reminding the audience, when you use a company like Printfection, you're actually not holding this inventory. Like you say you order 200 or 500, that just means you have 500 sort of in the cloud, if you will, at Printfection. You're not actually physically storing this at your facility or anything, right?
Correct, which is super helpful for us as a remote team. I actually, when I first came on board, I kind of had to help with shipping stuff out, and I just had some boxes in my basement, and I was already busy enough doing design stuff, and then trying to like throw together, a shipment out to a sales team at the end of the day and make it before the post office closes. Just a whole nother level of stress there. So being able to hand all that off to Printfection has been great. Like, we order, X amount of product, it's stored at their warehouse. You then have just inventory go on to the site, their platform, and use it like an e-commerce site, and select 25 that need to go out to Chicago by Wednesday of next week, and you can do it. So
that is definitely a headache that I don't think any creative person would want, right? Handling logistics, packaging logistics.
Yeah, exactly.
So what impact has this swag, both internally and externally, had on your business? I mean, has there been some tangible ROI for, the pens that you give away and for the tumblers and other things that you're handing out?
Yeah, I think that's a super hard thing to track. I think with the shows, it's just necessary to have. I don't know if it's always noticed that you have it, but if you don't have it, it's definitely going to be noticed. Like, and so we do try and do these more memorable things that are noticed. One of the big ones is blue light glasses. We just kind of ordered them. They kind of go with our name a little bit. Like, we say that we see heart disease more clearly. That's where the name kind of comes from. So the blue light glasses kind of play into that. We're also a software, so you're always staring at a screen, and we all know how eye fatigue goes. But those have like flown off the shelf, and they're awesome because you can put your logo on them, but you can also customize the frame colors to your brand colors. So the frames actually it's not just a logo on like a red pair of glasses that you're limited to. It's actually our logo, and every part of the glass frames are brand colors as well.
Final two questions for you. First, What advice do you have for other marketers out there who are thinking about swag, thinking about how to put their logo on swag? What piece of advice would you give to our audience?
That's a hard one. I'd probably say just go with your instinct on what you like. Like I found that like most of the projects I do, if it's something that I like, most likely my audience is going to like it. So just trust that instinct and, find that cool new swag that's kind of pulling at you and go with that.
Love it. And Brandon, final question, where can people go to find more information about Cleerly?
You can check out our product at clearlyhealth.com. Lots of great information there, some nice videos. We have a brand new patient testimonial on there today, actually. So yeah, clearlyhealth.com. We'll give
and that's
you all.
Cleerly, that's spelled Cleerly. Is that correct?
Correct. Thank you for making that point. Cleerly.
Perfect. Brandon, thank you for all the information you shared with us today. It's been great having you on the program.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Hey, if you enjoyed this interview as much as I did, we'd love for you to go to Swaay.Health to check out more great content like this one. I'm Colin Hung for Swaay.Health. Thanks for being here, and we'll catch you on the next video.